Welcome back. We are here again. Another episode at the H-Node Depot. Depot? I don't remember what I said last time. We went on some adventures with our golf cart and we found our little buddy. Oh, where you going? Yeah, we found this unit 734. We've recruited them to the course to help us out. But the most exciting thing for me this episode is I finally worked out how to use a time-lapse camera, so I can do stuff like this. Now, isn't that the most important thing ever? To kick things off, we've got the unit 734 here, and if you remember at the end of last episode, I asked for name suggestions. Had some great name suggestions, a lot of references to butlers, the people that help you, like Codsworth or Bob the Builder or Wally. But the one that I think is most fitting right now is Crichton. So let's update unit 734's name to Crichton. Now, I feel like we should actually put that time-lapse camera to good use, and I wanted to maybe consolidate some of our pieces here. We've got this random refinery sticking out of the ground. We've got the robo factory. It's not even like completely supported down here. And earlier we said we were maybe going to make this a bit of an industry area, and I think now's the right time for us to give it a bit of a facelift. Let's crack on with a bit of a time lapse. Ooh, look at that, a bit of a time lapse. One of the things I like doing, thank you, I guess I didn't finish the build. One of the things I like doing is adding little walkways around, and so you can see we built these walkways, we've got this extra storage here. This is our O2 generator, and I've snuck in the basic assembler down here. We've got the refinery is now outside, and I've managed to build a second hydrogen engine. I'm not super sold on where the position of those are, but right now they are there. And if we go inside, we can see the refinery has been replaced by the Roboport, the Robo Factory. And this has cleared up the area over here for us to be able to keep this as a bit of a ship landing pad / sandbox building platform. Where are you going? What are you fixing? Ah, you're enjoying the sunroof. I guess any little minor things that I've forgotten or that have been damaged over time, Crichton is gonna get right on it. I did notice during that time lapse that we've got 2 new messages. Revolutionize your everything. All sentient beings, tired of the same old drab existence, crave ultimate comfort, unparalleled adaptability, and a truly unique personal brand. Behold, the slime suit. Oh gosh, is this just an ad for the slime suit? More than apparel, it's living and breathing. Oh, and I can see there's a video attached. Alright, let me open the video. What the heck was that? I don't know if I'm exactly convinced to wear the slime suit. That was very in my face. Alright, having a look at number 2 here. Opportunity and info from Poseidon Trade Hub. To unaffiliated personnel from former H-Node territory. What is this? This is the Poseidon Trade Hub. We're moving into your sector following H-Node's collapse. Aiming to keep trade flowing. We've noted your actions at the Stardust salvage site. Your resourcefulness hasn't gone unnoticed. Your actions in that situation have not gone unnoticed. Is this a threat? That feels like a threat. If you're interested in a confidential discussion, come visit. We're not far. Okay, this is something. Alright, that is certainly something. I'm not sure whether it was a threat or not, but I guess they know about our bot Crichton here. Let's see, I was looking, where is Poseidon Station? I thought I saw, yeah, okay. Poseidon Station is not that far away, and we could probably get there pretty easy. But I want to see what they have to say for us. Yeah, let's jump in the golf cart. We are what? We're going to engines on, unlock, and we're going to shoot our way over there. Poseidon Station coming into view here. This big bubble around the Poseidon Station is just a safe zone. We should be able to enter it. And if we start slowing down, everything inside here is untouchable, undamageable. What's the right word? Let's have a look. Yeah, let's fly in. Seems like this is the place to park. Touchdown. I've parked the golf cart here and I think it should be okay. Let's have a look around. Okay, there's some doors on each corner, but let's go in and see if anybody is home. This seems to be some bot? I'm not sure. No, you really want to go up that ramp, do you? What is this place? Is it like a lab? I saw there was a door open. There's another fella here. Hello. Staring at a blank wall. There is someone over here.
Welcome. Please, sit down.
Okay, cool.
I am an android ambassador for the Empire Trade Accord, proprietor of this station.
I see. Did you send the message?
That was my supervisor, who has authorized this trade proposal. We have information that we presume you would want to buy.
Okay, what could you have that?
We have the GPS coordinates to this system's warp station.
There are warp stations.
There are, indeed. Here is what we are offering. The location of the warp station in return for your AI unit.
Whoa. I'm not prepared to just trade Crichton.
You have named it?
Well, yeah.
Come now. Let us commence this trade.
No, I don't think so. You don't...
Everyone has their price. What will it be?
No, sorry. Crichton is not for sale and that's final.
I see. Well, if that is so...
No, wait. I need to get home and you have the coordinates. How much will it be?
Pardon?
How much for the coordinates? You said everyone has their price, right? So what will it be?
I like that. I suppose our usual information brokerage rate is 120,000 credits.
120,000 credits. Let me see. I have 15,000 credits.
It would be easier if you just traded me the unit.
Nope. Sorry. Look, I need to get home. Do you have any jobs I can maybe do?
I suppose so. We are establishing ourselves here in this sector, and we have some material shipments that have been delayed. I will consult with my supervisor, but in the meantime, I will post some suitable jobs at our contract terminal. Please, give me a minute. The contracts should be available here. I will await your fulfillment of the contracts, and then we will talk.
And what do they have? Acquisition. They want a bunch of iron ore for 50,000. A bunch of 1,000 motors for 40,000. Power cells or what is this, a hauling contract. Need to take it about 14 kilometers away. Okay, and for each of these, it looks like they have some monetary reward. And what are we looking for? We needed 120,000 and we currently have 15,000. So what does this add up to? So 15,000, 30,000, 54,000, 94,000, 144,000. Okay, that would get us way over the limit that we need, and, well, not way over, but some to spare. Oh well, let's just accept everything. Did we get given an item? Yes, a package. I wonder if we can run this package first. Let's see if we can run this package first, and then we might have to look at scaling up a little bit. Take off out this way. Does it say where to? 14 kilometers. Delivery location. EMP Ray Ion. I guess we're going this way. Coming up to our delivery location. What kind of ship are we looking at here? What am I screaming towards? I'm assuming these are not hostile people. Yeah, it would be very silly for us to be delivering to somewhere that is actually hostile. We've got some scary guns. I'm glad that wasn't turned against us. Is there a front door? That looks like enough of a door to me. Do I have the package? Yes, I do have the package. And hello? Hello? You guys are just chilling and cruising? Okay. And, delivery location, contracts, accepted contracts. Hauling. We finished this one. Hey, look at that. Thanks for doing the job. Here's your reward. 15,000 credits. And so if I look at my inventory, 30,000. We're on our way up. Well, thank you very much, Ray Ion. I think we're gonna get out of here. Home is... yeah, home is this... no, that's not home. Home is this way. There's a couple of asteroids along the way that I might go check out, however, as we go around these enemy signals. We're just going to cruise on past home here. I wanted to look at some of these nearby asteroids and... what is this? What is this little signal down here? So as I came up to this signal, it highlighted red, but there's still no beacon on it, so it could be depowered. What I think we're going to do, we're going to risk it for the biscuit, and we're going to do a very fast flyby and check out what this is. This may be stupid, this may not be. Let's speed on past and see what we can scope. I don't know about you, but that looked pretty derelict. Nothing shot at me. Maybe I was going too fast, but let's creep in a little closer. All right, we're less than 800 meters. 800 meters is some of the usual range for the turrets. Still nothing, still nothing. Let's give this a go. A real tentative go. I'm worried whatever this cube, circular, spherical thing is. It could very well... what is that? It's just a gyroscope. I thought it was a nuclear warhead. And apart from some fire, no lights makes me think it's depowered? What is it? A bed. An armory. We can get into this? Does that mean we can get into the control panel? Access denied. What was the name of this ship? Valley Crucius. Lots of thrust, lots of ion thrusters. Oh my goodness. Okay, interior turret, but they've got no power, because what are the batteries at? Stored power 0, stored power 0, no power. Alright, let's just be brave. What is this? Oxygen tank. I don't think we can just grind this all down by hand right now. I'm not even convinced we should be grinding all of this down by hand. Yeah, this looks like a ship that we could pretty easily make our own. Or at least start building on top of it and start fixing it up. I don't know if... I mean, that would be a huge boon for us. Very large ship. And I know it's very broken. But it's got bones. It's got bones. And we might be able to use this. But in terms of the theme of the playthrough that we're doing, I'm not entirely convinced that we should just be salvaging something like this. Is it too overpowered to grab all of this? I'm gonna leave that up to the viewers here. Do we repurpose it as our own? Or we can straight up pretend that this was never here. Alright, so we know this is here, and this is actually really close to home. I'm glad we checked it out. Yeah, let me know if this is something that we should claim, or this is something that we should leave. Awesome, now that we've made it home, let's have a seat, and let's review these contracts again. So iron, 50,000 kilograms of iron, 1,000 motors, and 300 power cells. What would it take to make power cells? So power cells is a significant amount of iron, silicon, nickel, and motors is iron and nickel. So nothing so fancy, but nothing that we have immediate access to. So I think it's time that we make a real mining ship. Okay, so it's time for us to start building this mining ship. And as I said, the goal here is that it can mine as well as haul a lot of cargo. So if you remember last time when I said it, the best way to start a ship is by starting with something like a landing gear. You'd place this down and you build on top of it, making sure that sticks, and then your ship is not going to fly away. I got a great suggestion from commenter I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but comment on screen that instead of using a landing gear, I can use a large hinge, cut off the top of the hinge, and if we go ahead and we go add small head, now if we build up from this, not only is our ship not going to float away, it is also going to be immediately powered, which is fantastic. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just start building this, and we might do it as a bit of a time lapse. Whoa, voiceover Veeq here. There were two things I needed to consider while building this miner. Functionally, the profile of the ship needs to fit behind a drill's mining radius. Aesthetically, I didn't want to build just another symmetrical ship. I set myself up with the two long cargo containers marking one side, and then the width is derived by the hydrogen tank at the back. That's right, this one is going to be a hydrogen-fueled miner, as hydro has more thrust power compared to ion, but it's also cheaper to build and to fuel, at least at this stage of the game. The ore detector is positioned as close to the cockpit as possible, so we can use the radio spectrometry functionality again. The rest of the top is covered with the various essentials of a spacefaring ship and enough programmable blocks for me to indulge in later. You'll notice I've put some armor on the ship, but it's not really protecting anything other than the battery. Keeping the paint job pretty simple because there isn't a lot that I can actually paint, but that's the ship that we have. There we go, this is our first type of miner. It's quite a long, narrow thing, but that's generally how they come out. I know I probably recapped it in the voiceover, but I guess the highlights here is I love my programmable blocks, so we've got a stack of them here. Big old hydrogen tank, hydrogen thruster for going forward, our connector, reversing camera. There's a little bit more I need to do. I need to set up the cockpit and all of its controls. I need to set up some of these scripts, and all of these lights are blaringly loud. The question of what is this little screen at the front here? Well, the idea is that if we jump to this LCD, firstly let's calibrate the screen and then we can go to the spectrometry, and you can see it's our little screen just there. I've also realized that I need a better place to park this. Maybe add a connector close to the industry over here. Yeah, maybe if we pop this upwards, we can bring the catwalk over and connect it all in line, and it can seem like another launching dock. And you know what? We are going to get old mate Crichton to help us on this one. Curve over here. A few straight bits. We can take this out. So that's going to go up. We have a fun connecty piece. Teamwork. I call that teamwork. I've parked the miner up here and it's nice. Oh, hello. I parked the miner up here in its new docking spot. Not thrilled about how it looks, but that's okay. Back at our desk, looking at our contracts. Acquisition contract of 50,000 iron ore. I think we can do this pretty easily, and we might be able to do it right now. The motor and the power cells are going to need a lot more nickel. We've not found any nickel yet, but I think it's time that we can at least have a go. I set up all the automations on the ship now, so we should be in a good state that we can just launch and get out of here. I'm not going to go into all of the specifics of the scripts that I've added to this ship, but the quick highlights here are Mother OS, Auto LCDs, and of course our Spugs auto docking. If you're interested in a breakdown of the different scripts I use or how I apply these or any tutorials, let me know and I might do these as a separate video one day. I've been floating around here having a look to see if any of the asteroids have any materials, and I think having a look at this, the spectrometry reader is telling me that we do have some nickel on this asteroid. Let's fly over here and see if we can get a better idea. We can bring it a little closer. Let's make sure our ore detector is turned on. It is, and maximum range. Coming into this asteroid, let's brake. And let's have a look around to see if there is anything easy for us to mine. Look at that, nickel. Okay, fantastic. We should have lights on this ship, which is great. Just also watching out for that parallax hammer sled over there, making sure that they are still moving on. They're not necessarily. They're actually coming closer to us. That's alright, I'll just keep an eye on it. And let's see if we can sneak in some of this nickel. Hey, that looks like nickel. So just gonna open that up a little bit, and then we're gonna get to digging. Brilliant, we filled up. We can pull our way out of here. Oh goodness, this ship feels so slow now. Is there anything else we wanted to do on the way home? I don't think so. Coming in hot on the base. Let's chuck on the brakes. bleed off some speed. Okay, in theory, we could stop with 70 meters to go. I don't think I'm that brave, though. Hey, look at that. Hey, presto. All docked up and happy. Sitting back down at our desk, hopefully, if we now search for nickel, what there is, 40,000 there. It's in the refinery, just absolutely getting chewed up. It really is getting chewed up, but it's not producing anywhere as near as much nickel as I was hoping for. I know we only just placed this refinery here, but I want to see what it would take to make a bigger refinery. So a bigger refinery, 1,100 steel plates. I still think that is possible for us right now. Because if we have a look at our plates, we look at steel plates, okay, 3,000. Let's queue up 1,100 straight away. That's 1,200. It'll be fine. Oh, we're not going to have enough. Nom 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 nom. I've cut out the old refinery here and I've moved this conveyor port because we should be able to place this refinery on that spot there. Wow, it's huge. Now, I could be a schmuck and try and build this by hand, but it takes forever and I need to go back and forth 1,000 times. Instead, we're going to get Crichton to build this one for us. Now, you get to do that lap 1,000 times. Cheers, bud. Big old refinery being built up. While Crichton has been outside doing some of the hard labor, I have been inside at my cushy desk job, setting up some programmable blocks. Specifically here, I've been using automatic LCDs too. On the right hand side, you can see a bit of a power summary of the base. So batteries, we're at almost 80% and we can last up to 5 days on the current battery charge. And then we can see our hydrogen and oxygen. We're not doing well on hydrogen, but at least we can continue to breathe. Maybe more interesting for today is the cargo screen. We've used about 50% of the storage on our base. We then have a bit of a summary of the different ores and ingots that we have left. But more interesting is the power cell and motor count. So we're looking for 300 power cells and we're looking for 1,000 motors. That's looking pretty cool to me. Let's queue up the last of the power cells and the motors and see how we're going. So our production is demanding 4,600 iron, 1,100 nickel. According to this, we've got a lot of refining to do. While we let this process, I'm going to see if we can work on the 50,000 ore required for that last contract. This one, 50,000 ore. Let's kick on out of here. And I think we might try and turn this in immediately. We can keep that screen up for now. We should be able to get all of the ore required just from our starting rock here. Yeah, look at that. That is telling me 50,000 is done. Brilliant. I'm going to fly us over back to Poseidon Station and we'll see what it is like to turn these things in. Alright, we're coming into range of Poseidon Station. It says 1.5 kilometers to break. We are under 1.5 kilometers, so let's see how well this... I'm not too worried here because if we hit the station, we're not going to damage anything. It definitely helped wipe off some speed. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Easy. Let's grab our rear view camera. I really should have signed this to something better. Back us on up. Easy. Easy. Lock us in there. We should be docked. I'm going to run downstairs and see if we can turn in this contract. Contracts, accepted contracts. We've got the acquisition contract, and if we say finish, we want to take things from the miner, which should be docked, and I hit confirm. And check that out. Thanks for joining the job. Here's your reward, 50,000. Spooky abandoned station. Let's get out of here. We should now be able to launch. And home was roughly this direction. All right, let's get back home real quick. Coming in real fast, probably too fast. That's all right. We're getting very low on hydrogen. Just going to grab some of the ice on our way home. Brilliant. So that's plugged in. We are home. And how much ice does it say we have? But I've just noticed, ignoring the ice, look, our power cells and our motors are both complete. We might be able to finish the contracts for today. Okay, I was hoping to move some of the stone and ice out of our minor cargo containers. However, I've noticed that all of these inventories are full. I know we keep getting distracted from our ultimate goal, but we need to add some more storage onto this so that we can unload the miner. Ooh-wee. Alright, with that, we've recreated our platform. We have added our cargo container underneath. I wanted to keep that hinge in the middle, and now that it's all hooked up, this will also be able to feed any ship that we're constructing. It will be able to power it with hydrogen or whatever we might be doing. Okay, now that we have all the room that we need, we should have been able to offload this ship, and indeed it is empty. That means it's time for us to... Let's go. Let's grab... I guess, yeah, we take all of these, and we take 394. That should be 1,000. Awesome, and our power cells... Oh, we're gonna have to use the other container. Where are the rest of our power cells? Oh, okay, look at that. I did not plan this, but it is exactly 1,000 motors and 300 power cells fit exactly. I think we're good to launch and get out of here. Once again, if we connect to this connector, rear view camera, we are locked in, and now we should be able to head down here. Hello, hello, anyone home? Looks like the guards are back home. So the accepted contract, so we've got this one, finish this from the minor inventory. Thanks for doing the job. Here's your reward. And the acquisition for the power cells. Thanks for doing the job. Here's your reward, 24,000. And that must put us at 144. And what did they wanted 120,000. That's fantastic. I'm back.
Welcome back. Please send over the funds.
Cool, I will send them now.
One moment while I confirm. I can confirm the funds have been processed and received.
Great. So now can I get the location of the warp gate?
Transferring to your DD-pad now.
Neato, we can see the GPS signal here. Let's turn this on and check where it is. It's 5,000 kilometers away? This is so far away.
Well...
You could have mentioned that.
It would have been easier if you had just traded the unit.
That's pretty unobtainable for us right now. I guess I know what we're doing next episode.
Now, if you will excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. You may leave.
Yeah, I mean, I guess thanks for the information, but I'm not that happy. Don't really want to work with you again. Right, so now you move. Wow. Okay, bye. I thought we had a deal, Poseidon Station. I thought we had a deal. Instead, you're sending me off some, 5,000 kilometers away? We need to build some kind of jump drive, some local jump drive that would help us get there. I don't think we can fly there manually. That's too far. Okay, a lot has happened today, but it seems we're going to be in this part of the system for a little longer yet. Needing to travel 5,000 kilometers away really means we need to step up our engineering and ship capacity. We're going to need a large grid ship that has a local system jump drive. It's making me lean towards taking over the large wreck near our home base. I also suspect we need to start thinking about militarization and defenses. It seems Crichton might have more value than first expected, and I don't like the increase of red signals in our neighborhood. But that's it for today. Let me know what you thought of the time lapses, and honestly, any feedback on the episodes, editing, or story is always appreciated, and I will take it on board. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!